Hey, good evening, everybody. Today is Sunday, November 3rd. Welcome to the first November edition of Toe the Line. Don't know how long today's video is going to be. I'm going to go over a couple of things, a couple of or item involving what's coming up for the upcoming week. And um, yeah, so let's start off with if you remember back. I guess, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes ago, um, I did a video on was probably one of my first videos that I actually put on YouTube involving a 22-year-old black male in Jacksonville that I had received the body cam footage on. And his name, see if I can find it here real quick. Jack Nelson. Okay, Jack Nelson was arrested by 3 officers of the Jacksonville Police Department. And if you remember, I told everyone here on YouTube or everybody that was watching on my live and so forth at the time that we were going to be filing a formal complaint. Well, we did in fact file the formal complaint, and little over a month, little over a month. I actually checked on it like on the 28th or 29th day of it, I think, and was told it was sitting on the police chief's desk. Wasn't about a week later, I think, maybe less than a week later, Jacksonville went ahead and emailed the results of that complaint. All right, so I'm gonna read off the complaint here. I'm gonna go ahead and post it on the page. That way, y'all will be able to see what I'm reading, hopefully. All right, so we're going to go. This is from Lieutenant Chris Burrow of the police department. All right, he's in charge of the internal affairs investigation. Now, mind you, we listed several complaints or several possible policy violations in the complaint that was filed. Use of force, violations of his First, Fourth, Eighth Amendment, policy violations for professionalism, and several more. Okay. And you can go back and you can watch those videos. I'm not going to go into depth on that. But it says the investigation into complaint concerning the incident involving Sergeant Coburn, Officer Griffin, and Officer Junior of the Jacksonville Police Department has been completed, and the finding is as follows. All were exonerated. Okay. Now, this is the video where Officer Junior made the comment to Mr. Nelson, because Mr. Nelson had made a statement about he's trying to get home to his mom, or he wanted to go back home to his mom, or something along those lines. But this is where Officer Junior asked him how old he was, and he said 22. And he said, "You're 22 and still want your mama?" Totally uncalled for comment. And the way it was explained by the investigators for the police department is the comment made by Officer Junior prior to Mr. Nelson becoming aggressive was an ill-timed attempt to reason with him, but does not violate any policy of the Jacksonville Police Department. An ill-timed attempt to reason. There's no reasoning there. That was just straight up unprofessionalism, in my opinion. I know it was. They know it was. This is just an all-out, blatant disregard to any type of complaints that are filed. Also said that the Eighth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution only applies to courts and not law enforcement. Well, that's wrong. I'm just going to flat out say that is wrong, and that's the whole cruel and unusual punishment, which would be an excessive force claim and so forth. You know, when I started doing this, of course, you get a lot of blowback from citizens. You get a lot of negative comments. You're picking on the police department. You're doing, you're mad because you were fired, or whatever they want to say. I guess I don't know. There's just been a lot of different things that are said, and you know, it's hard to say. Um, I don't know how to. I don't know exactly how to word it. It's about accountability. These are the police officers that still work for the city I live in. So, I mean, I'm here. Um, I want to point out good things. It's just, social media is just, you know, it is what it is. And when you hear about things and people reach out to you and they say certain things that, you know, um, bring things to your attention. It's just, and then you get a result back like this. Now, everybody wants to say, well, he should have identified himself, or he should have done this, or he should have, done that. Maybe he should have identified himself if he hadn't done anything wrong. But the fact of it is we don't have to. If they don't, if they can't reasonably articulate suspicion of a crime that has been committed, is being committed, or is going to be committed, you don't have to identify yourself just because the police show up at your house. You don't have to let them in if you don't want to. You don't have to do a lot of things. And police, from my experience, they don't tell you all the truth, and they don't want you to know certain things because then they get a lot of pushback from the citizens. I.e., I don't have to give you my name. Um, and it's I don't know. I think that the city has given us, the people that I'm working with on this, I think they're giving us blowback. I think they're giving us, they're putting up a fight. We have since tried to file a FOI to receive some information on a mm, situation that happened on October 2nd. Um, and we were told it was under investigation. That's not the case, unless it's under an internal affairs investigation. And then that means that they're actually identifying something maybe these officers are doing wrong. I don't know. But a couple of people, unbeknownst to me and my crew that I work with, unbeknownst to me, they did not know who FOI'd it. So we've FOI'd that information to try to find out who else out there wanted the information and who also was told it was under investigation. But you know, I think that's the way the police department and the city wants to work, trying to hinder me from doing these videos or hinder anybody else from doing videos that may or may not bring a negative light against the Jacksonville Police Department, because there's a lot of citizens out there that believe these police officers are doing good, and I'm not saying that they're all bad, and I'm not saying the ones that have even made mistakes are bad people. I think that they've just made some bad choices, and I think they've gotten some bad training, and I think that can be corrected, you know, unless it goes too far. Um, so back to the complaint, the results of the complaint. We're not satisfied with it. That's not, uh, where it's not where it's going to end with us. So we actually have a meeting set up for this week with the mayor, Jeff Elmore, the city attorney, Stephanie Friedman, myself, another individual, and Lieutenant Chris Burrow of the Internal Affairs Division, to try to get some clarification on why he felt that there was no policy violations in this video, and to get his understanding. Now, I can already tell you I'm not going to agree with his standing, and he's probably not going to agree with mine, and that's fine. We're human. That That can happen. And that's okay. We can agree to disagree on things. Um, yeah. So there'll be a video sometime this, we'll go over another video next weekend on how our meeting went. If I don't do it live out there on the road or record one out on the road this week, depending on what I got going on. But if not, it'll be next weekend. It'll be Saturday or Sunday. Um, and then like I said, we're trying to FOI some other videos and information from the police department. But and we've got another complaint in again on Sergeant Coburn of the police department for giving out my personal information on a traffic stop to a citizen. I had no idea who they are. Okay, so that pretty much settles it with that. I'm not going to beat that dead horse. We'll have more on that next weekend. Okay. Now we're going to go over another issue that has popped up. I think it was the night after Halloween. So November 1st, I was sent this information, and um, I'm going to say that um, you know there's a lot of mixed feelings about the picture that I'm about to post up here. A lot of mixed feelings, and this was sent to me via messenger, and I tried to look into it, tried to get an officer's name, or tried to get a unit number to find out who it was. But I got a lot of mixed feelings over some of the reactions that was done here, or that I've received from Facebook post or comments on the Facebook post and everything. And I don't know. And I want to get y'all's opinion. I want you to comment. I want you to like. I want you to share this video out there on Facebook. Please, contact the police department. Find out who this officer is. Find out what's going on with them. Is this what we want for our uniformed officers? And we're going to go into a lot of different things here on this, to where there's, like I said, I understand certain things, but I still don't think that that's an excuse. So I'm not going to sit here and just condemn this officer right off the bat. I'm not going to say he needs to be fired. I'm not going to say he needs to be, is put on a registry or anything else like that. But I just want to share this with y'all, because this is what's out there on social media. This is not from my post. This is not from anybody in my household. This is somebody else out there that's, on Facebook, and they can post whatever they want to out there on Facebook. They can make comments and everything, and that's totally fine. But we're going to go into this. The day you see JPD taking a piss in the road, laugh, 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 and, giving it the rock on, I guess, or whatever emoji. Didn't know you had to pee that much, sir. I reached out to this person, and I just posted that to get a laugh. I'm not going to snitch on the officer, and I'm not going to give you his unit number, and I'm not going to give you his name or any of that. I just wanted to get a laugh, and I wanted to see what other people's reactions were. Well, I think it's unprofessional. I think it is 100%, without a doubt, unprofessional behavior. I understand you got to use the bathroom. There's information has been received that maybe this officer locked his keys in the car. People brought up, we know maybe he's diabetic. Maybe there's a medical emergency. I don't know. I just don't drive down the road at any given time in Jacksonville or anywhere that I'm out across the United States and see a bunch of diabetics just urinating in the road. And you don't see police officers doing it. There was a couple of incidences over in Little Rock where they did it, and if I remember correctly, I think they got their rear ends handed to them because they were filmed, and it was blasted all over the police department and social media, or the news, I think, actually did a story on it. So I get it. You got to use the bathroom. You locked your keys out of your car. How about you not go up to a house or something and knock on the door and say, hey, I'm Officer so and so with the Jacksonville Police Department. I'm sorry, but there's an emergency and I need to use the restroom, please. And I've locked my keys in the car and I, it's embarrassing. Yes. Is it something that you want to do? No. But you can ask. Can I go on this, whatever. I mean, hell, even just asking, can I go over on the side of your house behind a tree or backyard or something, getting out of the public's view. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer or the right response for this is. I've thought a lot about it, and like I said, I've read people's posts. They accusing me of wanting to crucify this officer, accusing not getting enough information, all for me sharing a post. Now, there are city aldermen that have seen this. Um, and I did make a post. I did share this on Jacksonville Facebook page because I wanted to see what their reactions were. Not so much to crucify an officer because I don't even know who the officer is, so I can't crucify him that much. But I wanted to see what the citizens' responses to this were because there's a lot of different pages out there, and there's a lot of different people that are on these pages, and some of them love the police, some of them despise the police, some of them don't care either which way for the police, and that's all totally fine. Um, but I, you know, I go back to I don't know, I just got a lot of negative comments, or I saw a lot of negative comments, and of course I'm not going to respond to them because it's not. If you want to comment, that's fine. I'm not going to get into an argument with you. I'm not going to battle your opinion or go against my opinion or do any of that. I just want to make the citizens aware, and um, it just I don't know, kind of blows my mind. Um, I think there is a standard that police officers should be held to, and that's why there's policies, that's why there's rules, that's why there's procedures and everything that the police department has because you are held to a higher standard. And if you violate those policies and procedures, then you should be disciplined, whether verbally reprimanded, written reprimand, days off, demotion, up to termination. I mean, it happens. Do we want it to happen? No. Do I, you know, want this officer to be fired? I don't know. I don't know anything about the officer. I don't know if he's had a past. I don't know if this is something, but then I go back to it. I'm like, what if a normal citizen had done this? What if I was out in front of my house? In fact, what if I was out in front of my house and walked around the front of my truck and peed in my driveway or something, and my neighbor had a ring camera or something, or his son or daughter stepped out and saw me doing it, and it wasn't dark. Maybe it was still dusk or a little bit of daylight, and you know, I'm not saying that there was kids around. I don't know if there were kids around. From my understanding, there were no kids around, but doesn't mean that one can't walk out. Doesn't mean you didn't get lucky this time. And if you've done it once, how many times have you done it? And if you're okay with it, and it's how many times do things happen out there that the citizens don't know about that are wrong? Whether it's um, peeing in the street, sitting in a parking lot for over an hour, talking with people when you're shorthanded, when there's obviously a pretty substantial crime rate in Jacksonville right now. Um, I don't know. So, I'd like to hear your comments on this. And again, I'd like for you to share this video and I'd like to get other people's comments on it. Um, I need to know, or I'd like to know, I don't need to know, but I'd like to know what other people think. Um, I just don't. I don't know. Um, I wouldn't be happy if the officer did it in front of my house, and I do think that the officer should be held accountable for his actions. And this is going to be brought up to the mayor and to the city attorney and to the internal affairs lieutenant. This question is going to be asked. This post is going to be brought up because there's people up there that know about it. There's whether they've seen my post, somebody else's post, or other post on shares or whatever else. They've seen this. City aldermen know about it. So I mean, it doesn't make the police department look good. That's one thing that's very true. It does not make the police department look good. Um, but again, there's a lot of excuses for these officers out there. Diabetic, had to go, did it multiple times, got to pee every day. If you got to go, you got to go. I just don't agree with, I don't think it's a comical situation, really. If it was a drunk man out in the middle of the road doing it, they'd be going to jail. If it was me or any other citizen, probably they'd be cited for disorderly conduct and, public urination or indecent exposure, because that falls under both of them. You can either go one of the direction. You can go, disorderly conduct or indecent exposure for the state of Arkansas. But again, uh, it just seems like there's some roadblocks. And with, with the city citizens, and with the police department and the city officials, just seems like there's always a roadblock. Um, you know, so we're gonna see where it's going. We're gonna see where we're gonna be next weekend. After we can't wait to do the video next weekend, or at the end of the week, about our meeting on Wednesday. I think it's going to be a real good meeting. I don't expect a lot out of it, but I believe I get to voice my opinion, and other people get to voice their opinion, and we either agree to move on or whatever. So I think that the citizens of this city need to open up their eyes and be more vigilant about things that happen to them from the police department, and not just accept it because they think they have to. Um, and that's just, again, that's just my personal opinion, and y'all can take it for what it's worth. Um, but again, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end this episode. Not a whole lot to it tonight. Again, we went over the complaint again that was filed. Haven't seen an up to date city council meeting to go over, and we again went over the results of that complaint, which I just think are 100% horrendous, and we'll have the answers for that this week. But I just wanted to touch base with everybody, all the viewers or all the people that watch these videos. I appreciate the viewers that I have out there. I really do. The page is slowly growing, and that's okay. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm just doing this because, one, it's a hobby for me, but two, I think there are things that the citizens of Jacksonville and anybody else that lives in Arkansas that watches the videos, or that they would in fact maybe learn something. Again, you reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me here on YouTube, leave a comment, like, share the video. It would be greatly appreciated. And I tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. Make sure you get out and vote, whoever you're voting for. I'm not going to make this a Republican or Democratic post, but your vote matters, whether you're voting Democrat or Republican. Your vote matters in the city for the city alderman that you're voting for, whatever state you're in, whatever county you're in. Okay, so please make sure you get out and vote this week. It's going to be an exciting week. We've got the election results coming up We've got a meeting, like I said, and yeah, so looking forward to it. Going to be a good week. I hope everybody has a good week, and we will see y'all next weekend. Might go YouTube live next weekend. Might do a YouTube live this week sometime. Just gonna have to check and see how things are going. So don't hold me to it. But might be a YouTube live after the meeting, or the night after the meeting, or that evening. So make sure you keep looking back on the page. Make sure you like the videos, and we'll see you next weekend, or we'll see you sometime this week. Everybody be safe and have a great week. Thank you.